War is usually pictured as bullets, tanks, and beaches soaked in blood. But in World War II, some of the biggest victories came from silence, from paper, patience, and a lie so believable it moved entire armies. Today's story begins with a dead man floating in the Mediterranean, a briefcase chained to his wrist, and documents stamped top secret. To the Nazis, those papers looked like the truth. In reality, they were bait. This was Operation Mincemeat, the plan that helped save thousands of Allied lives without firing a single shot. And once you hear how they pulled it off, you'll understand why even war can be won by a story. Main story. Early 1943. The Allies have pushed the Axis out of much of North Africa, but Europe is still locked behind German defenses. The next step is clear. Invade Sicily. The island sits at the center of the Mediterranean and guards the route into Italy. Take Sicily and Italy could fall. From there, the Allies would have a doorway into mainland Europe. But the Germans understand this too. By spring, Sicily is bristling with troops, bunkers, and guns. Allied commanders know the numbers. A straight landing on a fully prepared Sicily could be a massacre. So they need a deception strong enough to make German high command look elsewhere. Inside British naval intelligence, a small team proposes a shocking idea. What if the enemy accidentally found Allied invasion plans pointing not to Sicily, but to another target? German intelligence is cautious, though. If the leak looks staged, they won't trust it. The lie must arrive through something that feels like a real human disaster. They decide to use a corpse. They locate a body in a London morgue, a young man with no famous identity and no family likely to ask questions. His real name is kept secret. The British give him a new one, Major William Martin of the Royal Marines, and then they begin building a life for him. To sell the illusion, they stuff his pockets with ordinary personal details. A wallet full of everyday receipts, the stub of a used theater ticket, letters from his father, a bank notice, a worn set of keys, and, most importantly, a love letter from a fiancée named Pam, plus her photo. These items do one thing. They make the dead man feel real. Anyone searching him would see not a prop, but a person who had been alive yesterday. Next comes the false secret. The British craft letters between senior officers describing Allied strategy. The documents claim the main invasion will hit Greece and Sardinia, while Sicily will be only a distraction. The tone is crucial, casual, professional, even slightly careless. Exactly how real officers might write if they never imagined enemy eyes would read their mail. The papers even include small human imperfections because flawless documents feel fake. The letters are sealed in a briefcase and chained to Martin's wrist. That chain is psychological armor. It signals that this man died protecting a genuine secret. Now the delivery. The team chooses Spain. Officially neutral, Spain is full of German agents and officials sympathetic to the Axis. If a British courier crashes off the Spanish coast, German intelligence is almost guaranteed to get access. A British submarine carries the body into the Mediterranean. In the dark, far from witnesses, they slide Major Martin into the sea and let the current do the rest. The sailors who release him stand silent for a moment, half funeral, half mission briefing, then seal the hatch and disappear under the waves. From here on, the ocean is part of the plan. Back in London, the planners can only wait. If the body sinks, the plan dies with him. If Spain returns the papers untouched, the Germans won't bite. And if Span analysts suspect a trick, the Allies lose their one shot. Days later, word arrives. A dead British officer has washed ashore in Spain. The briefcase is recovered. Spanish authorities examine it. The British respond with just the right level of public anxiety, concerned but not hysterical, so the incident looks like a genuine accident. Then the key moment happens. The Spanish open the documents, copy them, and those copies quietly make their way to Berlin. Still, the Allies don't know if the Germans believe the story. They can't ask. They can only listen. At Bletchley Park, British codebreakers intercept German messages and scan for any sign. The sign comes fast. German High Command reports that the Allied main attack is expected in Greece. Units begin redeploying east. Supplies, aircraft, and defensive resources drift away from Sicily to guard the real target. The Nazis don't just accept the lie, they reorganize their defenses around it. In July 1943, Allied forces land on Sicily. The fighting is still hard, but the island's defenses are thinner than they should be. The strongest German reserves are far away, waiting for an invasion that will never come. The Allies secure the beaches, push inland, and within weeks, Sicily falls. The consequences roll out like thunder. Italy spirals into crisis, Mussolini is removed from power, and the route into mainland Europe opens for the Allies. All of it traces back to a dead stranger given a fake name and a pocket full of fake memories. There's a quiet sadness here. The real man who became Major Martin never chose this role. His true life vanished into secrecy when the mission succeeded. Yet in another sense, his body became a shield. By drawing German attention away from Sicily, Operation Mincemeat reduced the blood price of the invasion. Thousands of soldiers who might have died on those beaches lived to see the war's end, not because of a bigger gun, but because of a better story. Operation Mincemeat proves that World War II wasn't won by firepower alone. It was also won by imagination and nerve, by people who gambled everything on a single unbelievable idea. A dead body drifting to shore became a weapon, and a handful of papers changed the direction of the war. If you want more untold WW2 tales like this one, drop a comment and let me know. History has plenty of quiet victories left to reveal.